Peabody Tanners. I'm Cody Shalfu. To my right, fantastic partner, the man, the myth, the legend, Evan Alfano. Evan, how we doing?
Doing very well, Cody. Excited for this matchup here tonight. As you know, we watched Beverly against Chelmsford last week, that great 5-set battle. So excited to see what these two teams can put forward today.
Yeah, a match of all matches. That one was just back and forth, literally back and forth the entire time. Went all the way to that 5th set where Chelmsford ended up pulling that one out. But that was a great job by this program. We said it might go down as a loss in the column, but that's really a win for them.
Yeah, no question about it. Like you said, it was back and forth. That's a great finish right there in front. That was Natalie Reynolds. But yeah, like you said, it was a big back and forth battle. I remember it was like 12-12 in each set. It just was close from start to finish. And definitely a match that Beverly can build upon. I think, like you said, it was a loss, but there was so much that could come from it. Both these programs right now with 1 win each looking for some momentum. So this will be a really good match to see who, again, has a little bit more momentum going into this one.
All right, both squads with 1 win apiece on the season so far. And that's going to be out of play as the Tanners serve that one far. 2-1 your score in favor of Beverly. At the line right now, that is Rory Harmon, one of the senior captains. And that's a good play by Beatrice Lesser. Let that one flutter out of bounds.
Yeah, one thing definitely to note is obviously communication. It's something that definitely improved, I think, as that match went on against Chelmsford. So we'll see, again, it's so important in this game to have good communication with your teammates. Something Beverly's definitely improved at the beginning of the season, and we'll see how that looks today.
Yeah, we've seen at the beginning of that first match against Chelmsford, a little bit of communication errors, and then they tightened that up, and that's when you saw that that game get to where it was. So we'll see if they can continue that and hopefully get another win in that column. Coach Ashley Shalafor in her 2nd season here as a coach. This one's put over. Great job by Plose. And another one just a little bit too much mustard on as that one falls out of play as well.
Peabody's had a couple really powerful attacks there at the net, but right now just unable to get it down as 2 of those have gone far of that back baseline.
Plose sends it over. Tanner set it up and can't get her over the net. Evan, you've done a couple of these games so far, a couple more than I have. Which one of these players on Beverly is a player to watch?
For me, it's got to be Natalie Reynolds, who played really well against Chelmsford. We've got some stats here. She had 8 kills, 6 aces against Danvers. Danvers is probably one of the top teams, if not the best team they'll face all season. Had 7 kills against Salem. She's definitely a player that you'll see a lot in the front. We already saw 1 kill from her early in this first set.
Yeah, we were talking last game we did, and she's just a sophomore. We don't see a lot of sophomores, especially with a freshman and a JV program, but her being so young and so good at this age, it's going to put a bunch, maybe a little bit of pressure on her to continue to do that, but definitely she's in a really good place to succeed. Young, that's going to help build the program and something that Coach Ali Shalafor can use as a building piece for the next couple of years.
Absolutely, and right now, Beverly up 6-2. We saw a timeout by Peabody to start. So a good start for the Panthers. Something early in the season they weren't able to do. I was able to do the matchup against Masco, which is a 3-set loss, and they just fell behind early in those sets. But again, when they're able to take sets off Chelmsford, it's because they had quick starts, and you're seeing that so far against Peabody.
As Peabody finally gets a point on the board after a few volleys, rallies back and forth, 6-3. And for those at home who are new here, we're going to catch up some of the new rules. The new COVID rules. There will be a couple balls set on some nets on the outsides about near the baselines. Those will serve as those team serving balls. So that just keeps a couple balls in rotation, so 1 ball isn't being touched at the entire time. They'll be cleaned and mixed out as the game goes on. Also, players, as they fail to get over by 3 touches. Players obviously social distance, like we've seen in a bunch of sports. As best as can be. When players substitute out, instead of high-fiving or a pat on the back, they're just going to fake high-five, make sure the referee sees so they can be switched out properly, as well as all players exiting and entering the court have to get a little squirt of some hand sanitizer as well. So trying our best here to keep everything safe. Beverly has done a fantastic job from the beginning of the fall until right now, and hopefully extending into the rest of the year. So applause to them, applause to all the teams who have been able to make this possible. So those are just the updated rules. As that one is way too far. 7-5 is your score. Beverly in front.
Beverly's looked good to start this first set in terms of attacks at the net, finishing really well in this early going.
Lesser has to get it over. They're going to set up number 13 on the outside. That's saved. Let's see if 15 can put it through. No, she's going to collide with the judge's chair.
One shot we saw in that rally was hit by Beatrice Lesser. It was kind of that rolling shot that goes low over the net. Both teams, Beverly and Chelmsford, did a lot of that, and it's tricky. Instead of a shot that kind of goes high in the air that's easier to pass, it's one that makes it really tricky for opposing teams. And that attack, they're going to go just long. So
Big
point to Beverly.
Yep, big swing by Peabody, but just a bit out of play. So another substitution as number 9, Sierra Sadowski, is going to come in, and out goes number 3, Rory Harmon. She'll take a seat. 3 captains, Rory Harmon, Caroline Stott, who will be wearing number 80 tonight, and Emma Knott as well, the big front line middle blocker. She had a pretty good game against Chelmsford as well. 3 kills in that one.
A lot of players stepped up, and they needed everyone to get how they did in that match. As that serve there goes long.
So we talked last time where your previous game, not against Chelmsford before, you've seen a couple of those serving mistakes. And actually it was fairly clean for the most part against Chelmsford. Today we're seeing both teams getting a little extra something on these serves, which are resulting in errors.
Yeah, early in the season, and again, you're starting a season late. It's new. There's nerves, maybe a little bit of rust. So we saw a lot of service errors from both JV and varsity. But I've noticed both teams. We called both JV and varsity last week. They've really cleaned up their service games, leading to a lot of points. Because again, you're not able to right there. There's one in the net. It's a point you're gifting to the other team, not allowing, because you don't give them a chance to try to get it back. So important for Beverly to clean that up, and they're definitely doing that very well as the season's gone on.
See Stott now. She just pushes that one through. Powerful shot from Stott, and drop it in. Lesser Stott, let's see, has to get it over. It was Sadowski, but can't quite get it. She got on top of that one.
Kind of caught no man's land. Ball didn't go maybe as high as she would have wanted to, and tried to quickly get a swing on it, but by then it was just a bit too low.
That one pops over and can't take advantage of it. Was Peabody, as that one will find itself out of play as well. A few of those, again, just a little bit too much sauce on all these attacks and serves so far, Evan.
Yeah, definitely for Peabody, a bit too much right now on those shots. Something that we'll definitely see again this match. Best 3 out of 5 sets, so much time left. That's something that they'll be able to correct as this match continues.
So 11-9, Beverly in the lead. They're going to set up Reynolds. That's a good play, digging it up, and Peabody will be rewarded the point.
This is going to be, I think, a really close competitive match, because you look at Peabody's record and Beverly's 1-3, 1-4. It doesn't look great, but in reality, they've played really good teams. Peabody's lost to Danvers, Masco, and Chelmsford, which Beverly's also lost to those 3 programs. You look at Beverly's schedule, 3 of those 4 losses, they've taken at least 1 set. So they've continued to play really competitive, and just the overall record does not show how good Beverly's been this year at all. Right,
and Peabody's had Beverly's numbers. Beverly gets a point there. 1-8 of the 1 win in the last 19 matches against Peabody. The last meeting was a 3-0 sweep of Beverly last October on the 17th. That would be 2019, so 2 years ago.
Yeah, we're seeing 12-11 in this opening set. Beverly with the 1-point advantage, but Peabody now serving. Been a very back and forth. Again, Beverly jumped out of a 6-2 lead, but Peabody starting to get more comfortable with their shots, working their way back into this.
Beverly can't get it over the net. Another one of those attack errors, and now timeout by the Panthers, Coach Chalafour. And we saw last game, she was very, very wise with her use of her timeouts, and the team responded very well by normally doing very well out of those timeouts.
Seemed like every time out of a timeout, they'd find themselves, she'd use it when they lose maybe 3 or 4 points in a row, or they were down 4 or 5 points. Every single time, it seemed, maybe except for one time, they'd right away respond with their own run of 4 or 5 consecutive points to get themselves right back into it. And that's something that made that match so competitive. If she doesn't use a lot of those timeouts, I think a lot of those sets just completely get away from Beverly, but she's able to get them in the huddle, kind of calm them down, tell them what to do next. The team responds and gets them right back into matches.
Exactly. As for those viewing at home, saw that big circle that's a little spread out and not exactly touching hands when they go out. Just another one of those protocols. But obviously rooting for Coach Chalafour, a young coach. He inherited a team that was kind of going in the downward direction. The last 3 years, they made the playoffs in 2017 with a 14-6 record, as well as a 10-5 record in conference. And then just a little bit downhill from there. They went from 14-6 to 8-10, including an 8-8 record, not quite a playoff team. Then in her first year, they were 6-14, 6-8 in conference with no playoffs. But we can see, like you said, maybe the record isn't what it wants to be, but they're hanging in, they're competing. Like all these teams, which on paper, hey, they might probably are better than Beverly. At least in years past, Beverly has really took it to them and really has done a good job at competing with those teams.
Yeah, under Coach Chalafour, the gap definitely closing. Beverly, again, a team that haven't done well in the past. Peabody, but we're tied up here in the first set. Again, really making some of these teams might think, hey, we can come in and win this match, but Beverly not making that happen.
It also helps that her name is one letter away from mine, so I have to root for her. And this one, just gonna sneak into corner. Great placement on that attack as Peabody now up to a 14-13 lead. Like I said, this is starting to look a lot like that match against Chelmsford. Back and forth, teams trading, and all it takes is one little mishap, especially as closer we get into that score in the 20s. Each mistake is amplified. Sitting up on that outside, great dig there by Harmon. And a kill for Beverly. That one slammed home. And 14's be your score.
Right there, I'd say that might be the best play so far from Beverly. Great dig, as you said, from Harmon. Number 15 on that far side, putting it away, going across the net, across the court, found some space. Important point to get him back tied in this set.
13 switches places, and they've been going to her. Apologies, we are without a roster for Peabody, but she has been one of their main attackers. Here, that ball's up call, showing some communication, which is nice. So that one goes into the net.
Communication that just keeps getting better as teams play matches. Again, this is the 6th for Beverly, so they've had a lot of time on the court together to be able to work things out as the season goes on.
This one's played up, good setup. That kind of just tumbled over. Stott up in the air. Dosky has to get it over. She does, and it can't be handled. That one skips out of play off the hands of number 17.
Sadowski, one of those players like Reynolds, she's a junior, so she's one of the players that'll be able to return for next year's team.
Yeah, only a couple seniors where you got Harmon, Stott, Knott. Then if you look down the list, one more senior in Lyric Simoglu. Simoglau. So 4 seniors, but a lot of these impact players are coming back and are doing going to be good. You also have another sophomore, Abby Amoroso, who we haven't seen really play yet, as well as Nikki Aracola. But they're sophomores as well, so they're getting valuable experience in practice, as well as seeing the team work the way it does. So that's going to be pretty good as a bad miscommunication there between 15 and Lesser.
Right there, you see Coach Shalford just coming out, kind of talking to her team. Like you said, miscommunication in the back. Especially late in the set, you don't want to be seeing.
As Peabody is rewarded. Every time you say Shalford, I'm like, what did I do? You know, again,
close.
Our name is spelled the exact same way, just with that R instead of an X for me. So that one was a tricky shot, and it'll be dug out by Plose. And a free setup here. Dug out beautifully, but out into the stands, out into the benches for Beverly.
We'll get a quick timeout here by Beverly as they trail by 3. One thing I've noticed, Beverly's getting at the net too. They're getting to a lot of balls. Emma Knott's up there, Sierra Sadowski, Natalie Reynolds. They're able to deflect a lot, but just can't quite complete the block and get it back over, which has caused, it's good to see them getting up to it, but when it just deflects off the fingertips and kind of drops down, definitely causing some issues there for Beverly, but they're in the right place right now, so just trying to put it all together here.
Yeah, definitely the control of those serves and those attacks are definitely what separates, you know, the great players and the good players. And not every player is going to be great at it, but that's something to learn. That's definitely a skill that you want to have. It's being able to just control and just be able to get it to where you want to go instead of just being at the mercy of the ball. So we'll see how that develops as a 3-point lead now as we approach the 20s for Peabody as the mistakes get more and more impactful. Lesser up, Stott sets up Plose, but she can't keep it in play.
Nothing wrong with that. I like, you know me, I like to bring in my tennis references. I'm always doing that at least once a game. And in tennis, a good miss is when you hit it too far. You hit it, you strike a good ball, it goes just long of the baseline. That's the same thing with volleyball. I think you go for a big attack, but it goes just long. It's obviously a miss. You want to get it back, but it's still a good shot.
We've seen a couple good misses. If that's the case, that one wasn't as good of a miss as maybe the other ones, as Beverly was just wasn't ready or prepared, and that 3 hits kind of snuck up on him. Peabody on a nice little run here. Now 21-16, and they're in the driver's seat. Plose can't get themselves a point. Good set up for the Tanners, and that one can't be handled by Lesser. It's Peabody now 22-16. We'll see if Beverly can put a Band-Aid over this run.
This is a really nice run by Peabody. Right now they're trying to, again, both teams looking for that second win. And good job just executing down the stretch. I talked about early in the set how they were missing some shots long, some attacks that were a bit wild, but again, that was early in the match, and they'd worked their way back into it, and sure enough, they're making a nice run here, 2 points from the opening set.
Good hustle, but can't get that pass airborne. As those short shots and those short serves are really giving Beverly some trouble. Cross court, just sneaks over the net. And like you're talking about your tennis references, if that hits that net, it might be a redo. But in this sport, it is just, as they say in hockey, the post is not your friend. Well, definitely, as that's a great play by Stott to keep it alive, but the net is not your friend. In this case, match point here. Tipped it over, just what a deadly way to end that one. Just last little tip over. You haven't seen much of that. So 25-16 be your score as set 1 is taken by the Tanners. Evan, what have you seen by Peabody that got them that nice little lead, especially that run they went on late?
Yeah, things definitely turned there towards in the back half of that first set. It was tight early. Early on, it was, again, 6-2. They started out really well in the first couple minutes, and then, again, Peabody kind of found their footing, started making shots, and when you go on a little run, you build confidence. Coach Shalford called that timeout, but Peabody really strong to close out that opening set. So we've talked about this before. Again, now it's 0-0. Look at the scoreboard, 0-0, back even. We'll see what Beverly's able to do out of this little break. Against Chelmsford, they lost the first set, came right back, won the second set. They were down 2-1, came back, won the fourth. So we'll see. Again, this team's got a lot of fight, a lot of resilience like we saw. We'll see what they're able to do to start set two.
And Coach Chalford takes her team over by the track as on the court stay the Tanners. But Tanners really dominated late in that one, as we're going to have a libero. So a libero switch as Harmon is now going to wear her number 0 jersey in white, and Stott will now be a defensive specialist. So those two switching sides, as Coach Chalford didn't exactly like what she saw with Stott, I guess, or they're just trying to switch it up. But especially when you go on a run like that, switching something up defensively could help.
Yeah, I think it's more of just trying to make a change. Again, when you lose a first set, you're always looking to find something different. I don't think it's a matter of a player just didn't play well. It's more just a matter of trying to find the right fit. Sometimes it doesn't matter how good a player plays. Sometimes things just don't quite fit. So just trying to find the right grouping of players on a court to perform well against a certain team.
All right, so we'll see what the defensive strategy will be, if at all it changes, as Stott now is going to be wearing number 4 in black, and number 0 in white is Rory Harmon, giving up her usual number 3 in black. So let's see, Evan, I believe you're on play-by-play for this set, and give the people something to cheer about at home.
Oh, I'll do my best. It's a warning if you want to turn down the volume.
Oh, trust me, they can't hear it because they heard me to begin, so they're already on mute.
Big effort there from Knott. That's going to sail a bit long, so we get excited right there to try to get that opening point. Peabody's still on the run. I mean, dating back to that first set, they've made a big bunch of points, so Beverly trying to stop the bleeding here to open this second set. Nice work there from Harmon. Rolled over the net. And that's going to be another one for Peabody. I think they were under the net there. You can see them roll along the net. We've had a few of those recently to get a nice little bounce using the net.
Yeah, that net's been a real thorn in the side of the Panthers, as finally they get a point.
That's great work there for Sadowski. Fired that one. A lot of pace that Tanners weren't able to handle. 15 will be back to serve for Panthers, trailing 1-2. That's a great serve. Low and quickly dipping towards the ground. Peabody tried to get down and defend that, but too much power there. Good set here. Lesser will set that one up. There's Plose. Good block. Another chance here. Good work. That's right at the net. Gets a nice roll. Felt like Beverly deserved one of those, and they get one right there.
Yeah, it's like, both players trying to box out for a rebound, and it ends up circling in. Both players are right at the net waiting for it, and then ended up going over on Peabody's side, and it just falls right at their feet. So that's just another tricky reason why that net can be such the way it is.
Serve there just a bit long. So we're even at 3 here at the beginning of set number 2. Like the first set, it was competitive early. Peabody found a run late. See what Beverly can do to try to work themselves in front. That was Harmon who rolled it over. Oh, it might have been tipped at the net. The attack there, and I think they're going to call it a bit long.
I don't know about you. From my vantage point, I thought that hit right in. Again, I can't be I'm not exactly a volleyball aficionado, as you would say, but I think I picked something up here or there. But that's why we don't wear blue. We're up here talking, and they're doing their jobs, the referees.
That one there poked under the net, so point for Peabody's. They've again strung a few together, 5-3, some good serving. Close. Lesser now sets it up. Good up there from Sadowski. Good touch there, good work from Lesser. Corey Harmon puts that one over. Set up again. Sadowski. Good work defensively from Peabody. Now a chance in front, rolls over. Good save there. Back over. Close now.
Really good rally going right now. Nice little volley back and forth.
There, good work. 15, that's going to be Lesser who sets it up. Sadowski fires away. Tipped over the net. Just going to be rolled over by Lesser, set it back up. And a block at the net. And Les gets right over, and that's touchdown right at the net. What a point. That's, I'd say, really the point of the season. That's by far the longest point we've seen in all the home matches so far, and Peabody able to finish it off.
Yeah, I was about to mention before that volley went through. I was about to say, you know, we call college volleyball, and they're two fantastic volleyball programs over Endicott. Their men's and women's teams are both. The men's team is ranked almost in the top 5 now, and their women's team can routinely win CCC championships. And we've been able to see a couple of games there, and the difference is, I think, I was about to say, the rallies are a lot shorter. It's maybe 1 or 2 times over and a point from one team or the other. But here in the high school ranks, you see a lot more of that back and forth, a lot more of that long game. So obviously, I guess a great time to bring that point up.
That was a good kill for P right there, right in the back corner. Beverly let that go, but it was able to hit right on the line. Peabody sets it up. Good work by Harmon. Tough shot for Sadowski, but got it over. Was blocked right back. Jose's going to put it right over his shoulder. Great work there by 15ish to just block that one back. And a nice touch at the net, and that's finished off by the Tanners. So a quick start, as I think timeout going to be for Beverly, as they now trail at 3-8. As this is really an opposite of what we saw in the first set. First set, Beverly up 6-2. Now it's Peabody that they continue that hot stretch. They broke it open in that opening set to win it 25-16, and then now up 8-3. So they've continued that hot run. Cody, what's changed for Peabody here since midway through that first set?
I think they've just been able to set themselves up pretty good. I mean, as we saw in that Chelmsford game, the ability to, you know, get those serves and time those up and time up the speed there, I think really Peabody has done that from the get-go. As we saw Chelmsford kind of struggle with that early last time, Peabody's had that right on. So they're being able to get really good attacks, which makes Beverly have to scramble. And defensively, you have that defensive change, and I don't really think it's done much wonders on that defensive end. But Beverly just can't get a solid attack because they're always on their heels in the defense. So just uber attack here by Peabody has really worked out for them.
Yeah, that started with a good serve right there. Like you said, felt like Beverly's on the back foot a little bit with that powerful serve from number 5, Peabody. That one going to go a bit wide. See Beverly excited, grabbing a point there, trying to wheel themselves back into set 2. It's still very early. Again, it's 3 out of 5. You got to win 25 points in a set. 15 if you get to a deciding 5th.
Good serve there by Harmon.
Good dig from Lesser. Sadowski, good touch there to get it over. Jose. Good work again, though, from Peabody. Lesser, who's been really good with setting so far in this match. Sadowski with a big hit. And that one just finds the open space. Good work. It was kind of just rolled over, but found that soft spot. Beverly's defense there and drops in for a point.
Yeah, shout out number 27 on Peabody. A couple of those swings by Beverly were very solid. Had a lot of speed and velocity on them and some dip. And she was able to just get her arms up and get a very solid dig that would be able to set up for a pass. And those are very controlled digs. So shout out, she was the MVP of that point, definitely.
Last couple points for the Panthers have been via missed serves from Peabody.
So our first action we see of Nikki Ericola and Abby Ruggieri. Just getting some of those younger players like we were mentioning beforehand in the last set.
Ruggieri that serves it into the net. But again, that Coach Alford maybe looking for a bit of a spark here off the bench. Pelosi gets down and dig that one out. And might have gone to the net there, so Peabody grabs another one. That was Ruggieri, I think, who stepped onto the net, so Peabody up now 12-5. Good work from Ruggieri, just switching it up, showing Peabody something different. Harmon will knock that forwards. Deflected the net, good work, 15 getting down, but a bit too low for Ruggieri, trying to poke it over the net. So 13-5 now. Peabody they've continued that success from the end of the first set. Good work from Beverly there. They had a couple players go into each other, but that one saved, and then that shot there going a bit wide.
Again, another one of those where we mentioned calling the college games. They have two other officials, kind of a sideline official. I think a sideline official would have seen that one kind of stayed in. It can be hard for just the net judge to make all those decisions. Obviously, in high school, we don't have the luxury of those extra officials. So I've seen a couple of these, I think, stay in that he called out. But that's just goes. I think both sides have benefited and be hindered by that. So it's kind of even. So it's fine.
High up in the air. And Plose, 15 will knock it over. With a chance in front. Jerry sets it up. Another one down into the net. Definitely some promising stuff from Beverly, especially Beatrice Less has been playing really well, setting the ball up for Beverly. They've just been unable to finish plays. It's another timeout here for the Panthers.
Yeah, like you're saying, Lester has been really, really good in this one. A couple getting over the net with that kind of tumble shot, that rollover shot, as you were talking about. Also, just being able to set up their teammates is just on those outside hitters haven't really been timing up well and or they're just askew where they're a little bit too far left or right where they have to adjust and can't really get their full power into it. But other than that, I think she's been very good. Obviously, we haven't really seen a lot of Natalie Reynolds as well. I don't think she's played that much in this game. So we'll see if she comes in, as I believe she's in now, and we'll see if she can play a little bit more in this second set and kind of start bringing it back. 15-6, that's a pretty big deficit. You're talking volleyball.
Yeah, Reynolds definitely one of the top players for the Panthers, someone that they want to see get going up front for Beverly. They want to work their way back into that match, and that's a great serve. I mean, from my point of view, our point of view, it looked like it was almost rising, like it was going to go out, but just kind of died there and was able to hit the back corner.
Yeah, and we've talked a couple times about where you hit it, how you hit it, what part of the hand you hit it can determine what happens. That one was just a kind of line shot, hit right in the middle. But with those tumbling ones, if you get right under it, taking advantage of that free ball was Reynolds. Great job by her to send it back over.
Good work from Beverly in the back. So we'd close it. That was another big serve from 33. She'd really been serving the ball well. And
yeah, like I said, she hit it right in that middle of the ball, which just kind of just screamed out of her hand and kind of just stayed. It didn't look like a lot of rotation. I was reading what the volleyball had to say on it, so.
And an ace now for Reynolds, like we said, comes in and quickly grabs a couple of points for the Panthers.
Just a spark plug. I mean, it's hard to look at her and say she's not one of the top 3 best players on this team, maybe the best one, especially offensively. If she comes in, as we were saying, we haven't seen a lot of her. They get a deficit. She comes in easily, 1, 2, 3, like that.
And back-to-back aces that went untouched by Peabody. A bit of a miscommunication, uncharacteristic a little bit with how they've been playing so far in this second set. Reynolds again will hit one. This time will get set up. And a bit too soft there. Tried to touch it over. Sometimes it's a little too cute at the net. Tried to poke it over on the far side, but didn't get enough on it. Here's Reynolds back to serve. Great defensive work there from the Tanners. Cross court it goes. And that's another one. So here come the Panthers. 16-6.
Yeah, that's 5 straight for them. And like we said, like we saw Peabody rattle off a nice little run to end the game, Beverly's doing that in the mid part of this game to bring it back. And some uncharacteristic miscommunications by Peabody we've seen so far and just out of place. This one's a tough one.
Good work there. Ruggiero dug it out. Good diving effort there. That was Ericola. But in the end, Peabody a bit too strong, but the sophomore, Nikki Ericola, nice effort there to dig that ball out and keep Beverly in the point.
Yeah, especially someone we didn't see her in the last game. So be able to come out and make a big impression, especially if you have some minutes, as Reynolds checks out. As thanks to her, that's 5 straight for Beverly. Now down by 9, now down by just 6.
That one there hit into the top netting. So a couple of important points for Peabody, it seems, in the second set. Something Beverly didn't do is that serve into the net. Didn't do against Chelmsford was fall behind 2 sets. They were able to win that second set, win the 4th set, and keep themselves close. Got to feel that this second set's got to be important.
Yeah, no, very resilient. I think that was the word we used to describe that Beverly team last time out about a week ago, or a couple days ago. But being able, as that one hits the net up in the basketballs and the rafters, but being able to just focus, you're down, keep pushing, keep battling, especially at the high school level, it can be a little bit demoralizing, and you see a lot more of those players kind of, not saying giving up, but almost that way. Like, we've been high schoolers, we understand that, where a big lead might be a little bit intimidating to a lot of these players, but they kept at it. They kept battling more than any high school team I've seen. So this team definitely, it's not over until that final whistle blows.
For sure, that's something Peabody has to be aware of, the fight this Beverly team has, and we're seeing it come out in set 2 as they slowly chip away at this deficit. And that's a serve that's going to go just wide. Good work from Close there, as she had her arms out about to hit it, but last second pulled away, and that ball did fall wide.
Yeah, it can be hard to judge, especially with those different tumbles and different movements by the ball, depending on how you hit it. So being able to have a very smart backliner out there that understands where the ball is going to go and can kind of read the action of the ball, that can really help, and that picked them up a point there.
Good block at the net. It just touches down short, but like you said, sometimes it'll hit kind of like a knuckleball in baseball. It kind of floats around. We always see catchers struggling to make the catch sometimes, even at the major league level, because you just do not know where that ball is going to land, and that can definitely happen sometimes in volleyball.
You ever seen my knuckleball and wiffle ball, Evan?
I have not.
You can't hit it, I guarantee. No, like I said, I'm obviously a big baseball guy, so it's kind of similar. The way they hit the ball is much like different pitch grips and what they do to a baseball. Obviously, the best one, when you see that tumbling action, it's much like a changeup. When you hit it right on that heel of your palm, and you hit right on top of the ball, that ball has that downward spin, which keeps it straight and then dies at the end. That's the perfect one. Everyone wants to throw a changeup in this league. You've seen a fastball. You've seen one of those knuckleballs. You can see those balls do different things, and it really can get a team out of position.
Right there, Plose finds some space in that near side corner, and Beverly now able to work their way back, trailing by just a few. And the attack there going to go just long.
Don't look now, Evan. It's a 2-point game.
And a timeout for Peabody. Again, we saw this last week, and here we are again. Beverly chipping away, knowing that the set was far from over and just try to battle a few points at a time. Peabody gave them a few points, a few serves that were mishit, but overall it's Beverly earning their way back into this match. Now just bound by a couple, 17-19. Cody, for Coach Chalafor, what are you saying here? Your team trailing by just 2 in this second set.
Well, if I was Coach Chalafor, I'd probably put back in Reynolds because that's where that spark started. But you see, again, Reynolds came in 5 quick ones. Chalafor's probably just saying, hey, keep it up. Like, we've been here before. Now we're back where we want them. We're still done. We have some work to do, but we're in a more favorable position than we were just a minute ago. So definitely just encouraging her girls to go out there and just keep playing the way they've been.
Talk about so many times when the team is in the lead, they're the ones that feel all that pressure, and it's on Peabody right now trying to close this set, and good work at the net. That's Emma Knott who just taps it over the defense.
Yeah, come back, kids. BP might stand for Beverly Panthers, but when you're a fan of this team, it stands for blood pressure. That's definitely going up watching this game.
So many close sets have been played this season. That one, good eye there. That's going to go long, so at the Cardiac Cats, our producer says. It's March, right? March Madness.
Shout out our boy Robert keeping it down. Yeah, March Madness, a lot of basketball games being played. The women's tournament's going on right now.
Now a chance at the net, ball goes under. So 2019 now is Peabody able to go up by just 1. And that one going to go into the net for Plose, so important here out of the timeout for Beverly as they've gone up now, or as they've gone down by 2. It's Peabody that's done well out of the timeout.
Yeah, obviously we said after those timeouts you had Beverly coming out strong. Now it's Peabody, but Beverly answering back, and this one's going to be a very tight one. Did you expect anything other, Evan?
Oh, not at all. I honestly, the way it seemed like it'd go away from them, but they always seem to battle back, and we got a tight one here. Important for Beverly to try to string some points together on the Harmon serve. There's Plose. It was deflected right at the net. There's Lesser. Sets it up for Sadowski, knocks it over. That's Reynolds tipping at the net. Ball still in action. Great work. Diving effort there from 15. Keeps it in play. It's set up for Plose. And down it goes. What a point there for the Panthers.
Wow, from the dig and the save to the setup to the attack, just overall fantastic play by Beverly. Hey, lucky you'll see that on SportsCenter later on tonight.
Good work there at the net, knocked over by Reynolds. And good eye there. 15's gonna let that one trail just long. Beverly now working their way back as they lead for the first time maybe since 3-2 in this second set, 22-21.
It was, what, a 9-3 lead, and then it ended up being a larger lead than that, and now here you are with Beverly in the lead.
And what a job there. That's Reynolds, like you said, putting her back in. Knocks one down. And 23-21 out of nowhere. Beverly 2 points from the second set. Good block there.
Yep, good block up front.
Plose and Reynolds were up there. Lesser now. There's Reynolds. Good work. Dug out nicely, but couldn't touch it over. And we're going to get a few set points here for the Panthers. So as we're going to get a timeout here. Beverly 1 point from set number 2.
Beverly, I mean, you got to give them a hand. We said cardiac cats. They just came right back. They looked dead in the water, and they just swam back to the surface to take the lead. And you know, this is the strength of the team. They're never out of it. They're never out of a game, no matter if it's 24-0. They're still in a game somehow. And now they have clawed all the way back. See Claude see what I did there? Panthers clawed. Panthers have claws like that.
Well played. That's well played.
Now they're very in the driver's seat, just 1 point away from getting that second set win, and Peabody has to, hoove their way back, I guess, right?
Starts right there, serve there, long, is pressure now on Beverly as they're in the lead, trying to close it out. Peabody able to work on their serve now, so on their terms trying a couple of points together to get us even.
I don't know if hoove your way back is as coinable as claw your way back, but we're gonna make it a thing here, folks.
So now there's Reynolds, but the set probably could have been a little bit higher, and that's another point for the Tanners. So what a great set we have here. Peabody serving down 23-24. And that one, bit of a miscommunication there at the net. That's 3 set points for Beverly that come and go. Good fight back from Peabody. Their turn to make a bit of a comeback, 24-all. Good effort there from Harmon. Sadowski gets it over. Number 4, that's blocked. Good effort there from Plose. Tipped over again. Sadowski. Deflected at the net. Good work from the Panthers here. Harmon will play it over. And that's just off the fingertips. Maybe a bit too far forward, number 4 there. And another great point from both sides. And that'll set up another, I think, a 4th set point for Beverly.
Now comes on Stott. I think that's the first time we've seen Caroline Stott in this one. So she's going to serve, and she's a pretty good service player. So you have to get to 26 now with a 25-24.
Lesser sets it up. Reynolds taps it over. Good save there from 17. Good work to keep it in. Lesser, I think she carried that a bit, so 25-all. Tried to tap it back for Reynolds, but wasn't able to pull it off. Just kind of caught that a little bit. 25-all. Lesser, and that one just heads under the net. So got away from Harmon a little bit. Good effort from Lesser, kind of running across the net, but this is going to set up the first set point for Peabody, 26-25. A great diving effort there from Stott, who just checked in. And down it goes for the Tanners. What a great second set that was. And for Beverly, Cody, it's got to be disappointing. They saw 4 set points come and go. But in the end, Peabody takes it 27-25.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Chelmsford, they went extras in a set before. And, again, that's a tough draw for Beverly. They came way back, and then to lose it there. But that's, some momentum to go in and say, now, if we're down, we can come right back in. If we're down, we can come right back in. And like I said, it could be 24-0, and they're still not out of the set. But that's definitely a tough way. It's like running a marathon and then stubbing your toe at the finish line. You can't exactly finish. But they've seen it. They understand the kind of that defensive. They brought it back. So just if you could replicate what they did in that middle of that set to go on that huge run and end up having a big lead there, you'll be golden. And so if they can just do that, I think they're in a good position for set 3 to keep this one going.
Yeah, something we didn't see against Chelmsford was trailing 2-0. We talked about they were able to come back after being down 1 to tie it up. So now we've seen them come back a lot, call them the cardiac cats, but they trail 2 sets to 0. What do they have to do now to try to will their way back, just trying to focus maybe 1 point at a time, 1 set at a time?
It was tale of 2 sets kind of in that one. That first half of the set was pretty ugly. That second half of that set was beautiful by Beverly. So if they can replicate that second half of that set, I think they'll be golden. But also Peabody right now on a little 2-0 lead, and now they have a lot of momentum coming back because they were down. It was set point with about 3 points the Tanners had to come back from, and they did, and ended up winning it. So they have a lot of momentum right now. We'll see if they can finish it off here. Beverly going to try to counter that and keep this one going.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a deflating moment to have set points like that come and go. We'll see if Beverly can kind of will themselves back in. I think a quick start's important, and trying to feel like if you trail 2 sets and 7-3, it just feels like it's just so much to come back from. So we'll see if Beverly has what it takes to come back here in this third set, get a quick start. As Cody, I'll give the play-by-play back to you for set number 3.
Oh, maybe. I mean, if you're superstitious at home, I called a stinker that first set, so you're not exactly happy if you're a Beverly fan, but you are jumping for joy for you Peabody people. But we'll see. We got number 0, Rory Harmon, wearing the libero after that first set, and that kind of went better for them in this second half, as that one just flipped over but out of play.
That's the perfect start right there. Able to tap it over the net, but just wide, so just what Beverly wants.
And can't get it over is Peabody. So 2-0 right now, Beverly in the lead, and that's that momentum coming right back at them. And they started strong in both of the first 2 sets, ended up losing both of the first 2 sets. So again, if you're superstitious, you're not liking that.
Hit that, I think, one too many times. So 3-0 to Beverly, and some great serving from Rory Harmon.
We've seen a lot of good serving. Her, Stott as well, doing good. Obviously, Natalie Reynolds getting a nice little run going from the service line. That one is tipped in the net by Peabody.
Very quick start here for Beverly. Kind of feels like Peabody stepped off the gas a little bit after coming back to win that second set. Kind of felt relieved, but they still got to win one more.
Sadowski can't get it over the white stripe. Then first point rewarded to Peabody. Again, 1 out of the last 19 Beverly has won against these Tanners. So Tanners kind of have the stranglehold in the series as of late. Really have a stranglehold in the series as of late. Oh, but that is a ferocious swing by Reynolds. And again, she's kind of been the MVP. She's on the court, good things happen.
Absolutely, and a great set by Lesser. Teed it up perfectly for Reynolds, who just buried that right in towards that back line. Really not much Peabody could do to touch that one, as that's Stott who comes in, she'll serve.
Caroline Stott at number 4. Normally you're seeing her at number 80 as a libero, but she's going to switch it up. And that one tumbles out of play, so 6-1 now the lead for Beverly, and they are out to a fast start.
Very fast start, and it's exactly what we talked about. Felt like they needed that. Don't want to trail 2 sets in 1-6, but they are up 6-1 and have to feel better here in set number 3.
And they will return the favor by giving a point back to Peabody as some substitutions take place. Ball's in the air, now tossed back into the air, trying to find Reynolds. Gets in that soft spot in the middle, but dug out. And can't get it over the net yet again. The net has been a huge part in this game.
Absolutely. It's been playing for both sides.
Yes.
It's given, whoever it feels like, it'll give it a point to. It's felt like a lot of balls have clipped the top of that netting and dropped down for each side.
The net, if you look at his Facebook page, no friends. No one.
Look at that, denies a point right there. Reynolds trying to tap it over.
That net's about like me for most of my life, just no friends.
It's doing some work. It's out there on its own.
How many more no friends joke can I squeeze in here? No, well, we will leave it there. As ball's up. Reynolds in on a nice little hot streak. She has her timing down. As Harmon saves it, Lesser comes in, and Harmon puts it back over. One set up on the outside. Oh, good dig by number 4. Pass back to 4, but off her fingertips. They didn't get a lot of palm on it. And that one falls in net again.
Good work by Beverly, number 15. I wasn't sure she was going to get to that set. It looked like it was dropping quickly, but just in time, got to it and able to hit with some pace over the net and causing problems for Peabody.
And the libero comes out Harmon, but they still have Sud out there, so they still technically have a libero out there, so they are not libero-less. So 9-3, this is looking like a lot like that first set, but Beverly to flip the tide.
Absolutely, and now Reynolds that comes up. She's been serving really well for Beverly.
A skip knot went to the outside, and her and Reynolds will collide there, so miscommunication on the fly ball.
Seen that a few times, balls that are kind of coming down right at the front of that net, that a couple players just kind of look at each other and freeze up.
And it's tough to get communication there because as an athlete, you're going after the ball. That's what your mind's set on. You kind of zone out and just go right to the ball. And both athletes can do that, but it's hard if you don't. You still have to call your player off, not only to get a clean shot in, but also just to save for safety's sake. Like, you don't want anyone colliding with each other. We see that all the time in different sports. Players collide with each other. It can be a little bit scary, but that just, hey, I got it. Hey, that's you. That goes a long way.
Yeah, it feels like I know, like when I played sports, like sometimes if I see another player next to me, my first thought is just to freeze up so I don't hit them. And I think the other players thinks the same thing, and that's where that can happen. Everyone just kind of freezes up and stares at each other, and the ball just drops down between them. As this is, I think, 3 points in a row for Peabody, kind of chip away here at the start of the third set.
See, I was the exact opposite. If I was barreling with another player, like, the train's coming, get off the tracks. Like, I don't have any friends, so if you're on my team, I'll bowl right through you. I'm making this play.
Got to get on TV somehow, right?
Yeah,
For better or for worse.
Right. As this one, nice little volley here by both squads. Popped in the air, just taps over, but can't get over as Emma not try to sling it over the net, but it is ricocheted back down.
Good work from Plozier's done a good job. She's done been digging the ball really well for Beverly so far in this one.
Yeah, normally kind of on that outside along with 15, but she's kind of dipped back into the background and setting up a lot of these. So a little bit different approach to the game tonight, but that shows versatility, that shows willingness to adapt, and that's a great thing to have for a player, especially a player that'll be coming back. Not only a junior, she'll most likely be a captain and a senior this upcoming year of 2021-22. And that one's just gently nudged over the net, and that one finds some court. So 11-8, Peabody took a ride on the comeback train that Beverly rode in today, and now it's 11-8. What have they done different that you've seen that's kind of that minimized that lead?
I think, again, they fell behind early, but I think there's still a lot of confidence. You know you're up by 2 sets. So for them, just trying to string 1 point at a time together and work their way back. Again, just having the confidence of being up by 2 sets, you're comfortable. You know, hey, even if we don't end up winning this third set, we're still up 2 sets to 1. And I think knowing that, you plan on playing with a lot more confidence. That's a great kill there from 15. A lot of power.
Twelve to 8 now, Beverly lead as Beatrice Lesser now serving at the line. This one, ooh, great placement there. Ooh, good pass by 17. That's gonna hit up into the drapes. I guess curtains would be a better word for that. I just couldn't, I froze, Evan. See, this is why you should still be on play-by-play. You're just a far superior broadcaster.
It's a good effort.
Just like both teams right now, we're all giving out some good efforts. 14 to 8. Again, we'd like to thank you guys viewing at home, especially Nana Shalafor, who watches all of these games. Not a bigger volleyball fan out there. So Nana Shalafor, thumbs up to you. Hopefully you're liking this game. I don't know, two sets to 0. See if you can give a nice little motivational speech to the players. A good set for them this time, though, up by a 5. Still early, still a lot of volleyball left to be playing. Let's see if Peabody can get into double digits. They won't, as 15 now your score for Beverly, excuse me.
Yeah, it feels like they just completely forgot about that second set and how it finished off.
They'll give the point to Peabody, so they do enter that double digits. Nope, never mind, as referee and Beverly, referee in blue is just really messing with my mind. He's just, rent free, as the kids say, just lives up there. Doesn't have to pay a single cent.
It's Beverly playing with a lot of confidence right now. Again, just forgetting about how that second set ended. They could easily be one set all here. Up 16-9 in a comfortable position in set number 3.
That one just gets over. This will be the 3rd hit, and they do get it over. Good job of recognizing that from Peabody. Beverly up in the air. B. Lesser over. Setting up at the net. Thunder strike, but way too much distance on that one. Is now 17-9 be your score. Beverly looking to take a set. Beverly showing some guts out there, but unfortunately guts isn't enough to get that point, as now into the double digits is Peabody, and this is about that time where Beverly went on that little run. Let's see if Peabody can return the favor and get very close into this match.
Yeah, it was right at bound. I think it was around like 16-9, something like that, and seems to be the lucky number for the team that's trailing. Lesser continues to do well at the net, setting the ball up.
Set pass attack. Here it is. Denied, can't find the hardwood. Oh, that's a tough set. And now again, that's a point. Maybe this run is coming.
Another good point. We've seen a lot of really good points tonight from both sides. Early in the season, it felt like points were kind of like that, quick ones, but teams, as they get later in the season, get more games in their belts, able to be more comfortable out there, and the communication gets better, just the confidence improves, and that's why we're seeing a lot more longer rallies from these teams.
We'll see how long this streak is. 27 at the line. Dug up, and that's a good attack by Pose. In the air to Pose, but she won't have enough under it to get a nice attack in, and she just lobs it over. Lesser backwards, and Knott has to get it over. She does. Let's see, sitting on the opposite side. Nice little rally here by both sides. Here's that tumble shot.
Trying to switch it up with the net there. Beverly was ready for it.
Oh, good dive there. Oh, can't quite get it as they set it up. But can't convert, as here comes Reynolds. As she'll probably take... Nope, Harmon's still going to be doing the serving, but Reynolds now in that front of the net. It's her, Sadowski, and number 11, Caroline Pose. Pose, not enough juice on that hit as she mistimed and thought the pop shot would be better.
Yeah, maybe a bit low on the set, so she had to kind of rush that. Got low on her quickly. So 13-18 for Peabody as they trail. Trying to use the serve to get their way back into this.
Good point there by Beverly. I was about to say it was 5, cut down to... I was 7, cut down to 5, now back up to a 6-point lead for Beverly. And if they can go back and forth here, then Beverly will take advantage, and we'll go to a 4th set, Evan.
Yeah, another one. Beverly likes, again, we've talked about most of their matches except for one. It was the Masco match, the first home match. They've taken at least one set, including the 5 sets against Chelmsford last week. So 4 sets is not new territory for Beverly. It's a good kill right there for the Tanners. I think that'll be important in this match, seeing they've had so much experience, 4 sets. They had the 5-set last week. They're used to playing deeper into matches. They were trailing last week. They worked their way back from that. So this is not a position that they haven't seen before, and we'll see if they're able to keep it going.
And we talked last time out against Chelmsford, that long match and how drained the players looked. Do you think that can start creeping up, especially in going a lot of these 4 or 5 set matches?
Another one from Beverly. It's definitely, especially for Peabody, I think right now, the back of their mind thinking we're up 2 sets. They feel like, we can't be the team that has an 0-2 lead or 2-0 lead slip away. And I think for Beverly, the thought of being so close last week to get a victory, they want to try to get one here, and that's a great block at the net. That was number 15 and Reynolds are both up there. As this set, Beverly's really been in control, it feels, from start to where we are right now, 21-14.
And Beverly gets this, it'll be a 2-1 game, and they say 3-2 is the most deadly lead in sports. Right now it'll be a 2-1 set lead would be the most deadly, most dangerous lead. As you give up that one, and then that, the next set is up for grabs, and you just can't let that momentum roll. So right now, 22-14, momentum stopped due to the timeout. 8 points be your lead for Beverly. So what can you see them try to do to close it out here, Evan?
Yeah, it's important to try to keep doing what you've been doing. They've been really good at the net. They had a nice block a couple points ago, so try to keep the pressure on Peabody up front, make them earn the points. If you get your serve, just start by getting it in. Don't give any free points to the Tanners in a situation like this, because, again, when you play with the lead, if you give your opposing team a couple of points and a little bit of confidence grows, and for Peabody, if they work their way back in the set and feel like they're so close to winning the set, and that would be the match, grows confidence. So it's important for Beverly right here to just not give Peabody a chance to open up the door and just slam it on them and finish off this 3rd set, prepare for the 4th.
Comeback Cats. Is that right there? 23 now will be the score. So just 2 more, and we're on to set 4.
Very different Peabody team. Doesn't feel like they've been as aggressive as the first 2 sets. Maybe felt a little bit confident with the 2 sets lead, and Beverly not going away quietly.
Yeah, it's almost like they had more pressure trying to close them out, and they just let them come back in. It's weird how that kind of works. You're up 2-0, and the sky should be blue and sunny, but in the back of your mind, it seems, if we lose this one, it's 2-1. Then if we lose that one, oh my goodness, and now you could potentially be seeing 5 or 4 sets go, where if you just keep aggressive and just treat every set like it's a 0-0 the first set of the game, it'll be fine. So let's see if Peabody can go on this mega run here.
You've had some experience with college. You said at Endicott. If you see, Endicott or a team go up 2-0, does their mindset kind of change differently, or is it kind of more of a attack mode to finish off the match?
I think it goes match by match. I think, obviously with the college players, they're playing for a lot longer. And like I said, we can see, those type of things affect a high school team much more than a college team. But we've definitely seen some examples of that, where a team has a 2-0 lead, and then they end up losing in 5 close because they just kind of panicked and kind of coasted in. It's the whole saying, you play to win, not play to not lose. And sometimes teams, and that's all sports. If you have a big lead at the half of basketball, if you have a 6-run lead in the 8th inning of a game, like those things happen and those kind of mindsets creep in, and so it's not foreign to any sport, let alone volleyball. And this one could be free as Knott taps it back over right away. Caught Lesser off guard, so now it's Peabody. They have to rattle off at least 7 right here. We'll see if they can. They had a nice small run that we thought might have led to a little bit more, but they ended up getting cut short. And let's see if they can finally get on their run now, as we've seen every team go on a run but Peabody, and that's going to be the nail in the coffin to set 3. Set 4 coming right up soon, but let's discuss. 25-17 Endicott. That was a convincing win. or Beverly, excuse me, with a convincing win. It's always one on broadcast at least.
Yeah, that was really a comfortable set. It felt from start to finish. They got out, I think it was 4-0 to start that third set and never trailed. Peabody was able to string a few points together, but never felt like they confidently were too close in that third set and worked their way back. Beverly just able to kind of put their foot on the gas pedal, just keep it going from start to finish and really kind of kill off any momentum Peabody had. Because I felt going into the third set that it was really all Peabody because they'd saved 4 set points. They come back and win that second set. You'd think they might themselves put the foot in the gas, but it was Beverly that came forward and took that third set.
I also love how awkwardly quiet the entire gym gets when we're speaking. That's awesome. So about 2 minutes before the next set gets underway, Beverly now down 2-1. Peabody, what are you telling them to try to get that momentum back on their side?
Yeah, I think for them, biggest thing is obviously try to get just a little energy, a little more excitement. I felt like, again, they kind of put the foot off the pedal there at the end of the third set, maybe feeling, hey, we've got this in the bag of 2 sets. They might have felt that. They might have felt that Beverly kind of might fall off a little bit because they'd had those 4 set points. But hey, they're going to kind of trail back a little bit. We can just finish off this third set. And if we know Beverly, this team, they're not a team that's going to go down without a fight. And sure enough, they came roaring back in that third set, took it. I'm very excited to see, obviously, Beverly can keep that going if Peabody has a response in this 4th set.
Yeah, dominating set by Peabody, and then it went to a very close back and forth, I guess overtime is what we would call it, set that went a little bit extra, and then a dominant win by Beverly. So both teams have seen all sides winning. Let's see if Beverly now could squeak out. If pattern continues, it'll be a tight win. So Evan, I will give you the crown back for play-by-play, and the people at home breathe a sigh of relief.
All right, I'll do my best. It was an exquisite third set. Hey, you might be the lucky charm as they got back and won that third set behind the voice of Cody Shalafu as we're back underway here. 4th set. And right away, that's right on the line for Plose. And a quick kill for Beverly. They got off to that quick start in set 3 and never gave it up. And here they are working quickly in set 4. And Peabody just seems a bit stunned right now with what's going on. As that was Harmon that served it in to get the point started. That's going to be attacked there. That goes long. So a couple quick points for the Panthers here in set number 4. Again, Beverly coming in 1-4. And Peabody coming in at 1-3. As each team trying to grab that second win of the season and having a bit of a mirror image to set 3 as that's 3 quick points for Beverly to start this set.
Yeah, tough play there for Peabody. They tried to save it and ended up hitting the basketball hoop and coming right back down awkwardly. So now another 4-0 lead to start off the set, Beverly.
Yeah, they just have all the momentum. They're playing with a lot of confidence. Another good serve there by Harmon. That dips down quickly. Peabody not able to quite control that. And in a blink of an eye, the lead keeps growing, and you got to think maybe a timeout's coming soon from Peabody if they're not able to stop this run.
As you can hear the sigh of frustration right out of the hands for Harmon, who's played a fantastic game. She didn't have any libero time last time, but then after that second set, it's been all her, and they've had their best 2 sets with her libero. So right now, that seems like that was a good decision by Coach Shalafor.
Absolutely. It seems that's been definitely an important role, and Stotts made some nice plays.
Yes.
After she switched roles. I think it was late in the second set, that diving dig to keep Beverly within that second set. As again, players, they've all played well, just kind of switching around roles a little bit, and it's worked out as they're starting to make a run. It's a diving attempt there by Lesser. It's a bit too far in front of her and drops down for the Tanners as they've quickly, after the missed serve by Harmon, rattle off 3 points in a row. Lesser running over to set that ball up for Plose. That's a great kill right there. 33 going cross court, found some space. We talk about how this game, volleyball, can be really kind of a topsy-turvy, up and down sort of match in terms of runs. Each team getting a few points in a row. We've got 5 in a row for Beverly and now 4 in a row for Peabody.
Seems like we're destined for a close one here.
Shot there goes just wide, as down it goes, and that's what you expect when you head into the extra sets. Again, no one able to decide it after 3, so we move on to a 4th. As there's Caroline Stott checking back in. She's going to go back and serve. That's a great point there. That serve had a lot of power from Stott. It's a good dig attempt, but that was Reynolds who just, with a great attack at the net to put her home and put Beverly back up by 3.
She's been very impressive from the service line. You have a couple times she's got in and rattled off a few points. So strategic substitution to get her in right when the service is coming up for another player, and then you keep her in the rotation for a little bit.
Good shot there. A bit too much power there for Harmon to handle. So Peabody slowly working their way back into the set. Ball clips off the net. Beverly trying to control it, but unable to do so. That was Plose tried to get to it. Ross is going to set it up. Plose hanging off a deflection of a player at the net. And that attack there is going to trail wide. So another point for the Panthers.
So 8-6 now is coming back a little bit. This Peabody, and they've just been doing a good job just matching this energy now. You saw them kind of lackadaisical in that last set. Now they kind of bring the energy a little bit back up.
Good work from Harmon right there, and there is Reynolds right up at the net. She'll put that down in some space. Substitution there for Peabody. 33 comes out, number 4 will check back in. Rusher sets that one up. 15. Good effort there. It was dug out nicely by number 5. And a block at the net. That's, I think it was Reynolds. 15 was there as well. As the block numbers are starting to pile up for Beverly. I feel like the first set and a half, it was deflecting off the fingertips. But now, a little pep in their step. They're able to get a bit higher and get a few more blocks.
Yeah, like, as the kids say, Reynolds is in her bag right now. She is just, everything she's doing is right. Now 15 right there, you know, she's been playing well as well. So it's just a combination effort, but really it's led by Reynolds, and right there, another good pinpoint precision placement.
As we saw, another block in that point from Reynolds, good timing, and 15 able to find some space up that near side corner.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier in that first, later in that first set that she has her timing down, and that's gonna be a long day for Peabody, and we see that now.
Team just kind of tapping it over the net. That one almost gets up to the scoreboard. Blocked. Might have been off the net. Harmon Lesser sets it up. There's Reynolds, and down it goes. So that recipe of Harmon to Lesser to Reynolds working a few times here in the 4th set as they extend the lead to 12-6. That one maybe was going to drop down in the corner. Harmon goes for it. It's a bit high for her, so it goes off the hands and out. Again, a busy week for Beverly as they'll be taking on Saugus right here on Thursday evening, as that's a ace right there for the Tanners to take one back.
It just whiffed right there with Stott. And I can say on Thursday, we'll be back for another fantastic. I mean, we've got nothing but great matches, at least me, the last 2 matches. So hopefully we'll make it 3 in a row.
The luck, we just like 5 sets. See if Beverly can try to get one here, and that's a little miscommunication maybe at the net.
I definitely love 5-match games. You know me. I love when a game goes really deep and both teams are fighting at that last second. And 5-set matches, I love it. We got one. Hopefully we get one today.
They had an exciting one last week against Chelmsford. Again, you talked about earlier how that's an ace there for Reynolds. Beverly just 1-18 all time against Peabody. Obviously not something any of these players even think about. They haven't played since 2019 in October. But definitely a chance for a big win here today.
Here's Reynolds again. We'll see if she can rattle off a few like she did last time at the line.
Knock forward there, and Reynolds also tried to dig that one out, but unable to do so.
And that's a super tough ball, the one that's right kind of at your midsection, right at, your sternum area where that's coming at you. You want to kind of hit it on your way up, and right there, Reynolds just missed time and kind of hit it on the bottom of her hands going up. That kind of just died right in front of Lesser.
Good dig there from number 4 for Peabody. Harmon gets it up towards the net. Good attempt there from Lesser. It hit off the net, tried to save it, had it saved momentarily, but couldn't quite control it. So this set feels like Beverly's been in control this 4th set, but Peabody have been sneaking up, down by just 4 now. Now 15, that's a block attempt, but just too much power. Good effort there from the referee to duck out of the way of that deflection.
More nimble than I would have pegged him. He just hit him with a whoop. Looked like Muhammad Ali out there.
That was coming quick, but he made a quick duck there to.
I couldn't dodge it. I'm too old for that. He definitely goes
right
on
off the dome.
Goes on walks or something. Takes his vitamins. Eats his Wheaties.
I would have taken that probably right to the nose.
It would have been bad. I would have fell off the stanchion. I would have had to probably get stretchered out. It would have been really bad.
That one from Harmon hit under the net, so 1 back for Peabody. They just try to. One thing I just feel like the bench is lacking a bit of energy. Beverly, even when they're down, they're always clapping it up after they win a point. The players on the court, players on the sideline, always encouraging, always cheering each other on. I haven't seen a ton of that, especially in the last couple sets from Peabody's bench.
Yeah, another point we brought up in the last game. We keep mentioning what we did in the last game, but we talked about that in brief, how much that helps an athlete when they're getting cheered on, especially when you have a diminished crowd here, especially on the road, how you have to kind of bring that energy for your team. And like you said, Beverly's bench doesn't stop talking. They're always, let's go, let's go, let's go, always congratulating and picking players up if they do something wrong. But on the other side, we haven't really heard much of that.
Lesser plays it forward. There's Sadowski. Kind of pokes it over. And that ball is just a bit too close to the net, and Peabody unable to get to that.
Body language is big, too. I mean, all the players are standing, but a lot of hands are crossed, hands on their hips. And with Beverly, it's a lot of clapping, a lot of cheering, and something to watch. And that could be a reason why we've seen this Beverly comeback.
Work by not at the net. Lashonell set it up. There's Plose. Barrow keeping it in for the Tanners. And changing up right there was Lesser. Peabody was ready for it. Now Harmon up to Sadowski. That'll head over the net. Good communication there from Beverly. And that one's going to go off the antenna and end up deflecting wide. So a good point in the end for both sides, and Peabody able to grab it. Again, 2-1. Peabody leads 25-16, 27-25. Beverly taking that third set 25-17. And they lead set 4 by a score of 17-12. And that's gonna, I think, go down as that's gonna be called in. I was blocked a bit by this little stanchion here, so 17-13 as that was a Good kill there for Peabody.
That's the equivalent of 95 on the black. Just you can't do anything with that. Like that is just a perfect placement on that, and there's nothing you can do as an offensive player.
As that hit by Sadowski into the net, then hit off. Not there, a little bit of deflection. So just a 3-point lead now for Beverly in the fourth set.
May I say that was not a heads-up play?
I like that. You're on fire today,
dude.
Cody.
Honestly, you should get a fire extinguisher up here because I am burning.
That one in. So again, down at just 2. As we might see a timeout here, and that's exactly what we'll see. That's a good call there for Coach Shalfor as Peabody slowly working their way back. They trail by just 2. And Cody, here we're in the middle of set 4. For Peabody, kind of what's their mindset right now? They're up 2-1. They're trailing by just 2 points.
I mean, it's back and forth. Obviously, Beverly went on that large lead to start off this set, and then Peabody worked their way back, and they will get up a nice little lead, a nice little run themselves. So just keep the momentum. It's back and forth. You're going to have to go on a short little run and definitely prevent any runs from Beverly, which out of timeouts we've seen how well they play. So for Peabody, you just got to kind of stick to your game plan, stick to what you've been doing all year, and just see if that can get you over. I mean, they were fortunate enough to take a really big lead in that first set, and then they were fortunate enough to have another really big lead in that second set. They haven't had a lead like that yet in these last 2 sets. So if they can maybe go on a little run here, 17-15, if they can get a few points rattled off back to back to back, that should be enough momentum to carry them to the finish line.
Absolutely. It just also feels like the team that starts the set well are able to close in the end. And Beverly is that one. That's going to go a bit too long, as I think Beverly might have thought they had that, but it definitely, from our point of view, went along. So 1-point game. Again, a set that Beverly really had control of until up to these last couple minutes. As out of the timeout was another point for Peabody. Close tries to luck again. That was a good one that was dug out. And finding some space between the defense and Peabody, able to work their way back. We're tied at 17. Cody, we're getting ready for another good close to a set.
Beverly loves themselves some close matches.
Good work from Plose there. Lesser going to set it up. Plose able to get to that, hit it over. Thought it might have been too far forward for her. Good effort there from Sarah Sadowski. And blocked down at the net. Not able to keep it in. Good effort there. 15 and a couple nice digs for Beverly. Sadowski again, but dug out. Ball close to the net, and I think Peabody went onto the net, so very pivotal point here in set 4 goes the way of the Panthers. Remember, if we go to a 5th set, it will only be to 15. Beverly leading 18-17 here in set 4. Good serve by Harmon. Beverly might be able to save this, but unable to get that second shot. So back even we are at 18 apiece. Important service point here for Peabody. It's a nice one. Good work from 15, and Lesser able to play it over. Blocked by Reynolds at the net. We've seen that quite a few times, and eventually into the net for Peabody. So great play by Natalie Reynolds.
Caroline Plose was also there helping her out. So again, that front line has just been absolutely lights out so far. Again, try to do it again. So I'll take yours. So now you can't say it at all because I just took your one shot.
It was me last week, so we're sharing the love. That's all.
We are all human, but Beverly, excuse me, their front line have been lights out. We'll see if their other areas can start picking it up. As on the service line, you have Stott, who has been really good as well.
Yeah, Caroline Stott's had some really nice serves. One of the seniors on this team. Now Peabody trailing by 2. Good communication there. Now Reynolds. That's a great dig there.
One-armed it.
Impressive shot there, and back at it again. Libro making some nice plays for Peabody. And that ball just not quite over for Harmon. That was an important point, it felt like, for Peabody. They don't want to trail by 3 so late in a set. As really, I think both teams feeling the pressure right now. Peabody trying to close this match and Beverly trying to keep their lead and close the set. And that's a serve into the net, so important point there for Beverly. Close. Solid serve there. It's dug out nicely. And that's a nice kill there. Number 4 hits it down the line. And talked about this with our fellow broadcaster Rich Francis last week, something that Beverly could maybe work on and try to get more shots down the line. Like we saw there is they do a lot of cross-court shots and maybe trying to get a few down the line. That's a really important serve right there to get us back even at 21.
Yeah, because going across court, you're basically putting it right into their defense, so they're already prepared for that. But getting it down the line, it makes for a tough dig, and then a tough pass on that second try. So getting it down the line is huge, just to mess up some defensive rotations and manipulate where defenders are thinking the ball is going to go.
And there's Reynolds. You don't want to give her too many chances in a point, and on opportunity number 2, she's able to slow it down and just touch it over. She's got some power at the net, but also finesse and able to just drop that one between the defense. She'll now go back to serve. Possibility that one could have gone long, but in the end, Peabody keeps it and grabs the point.
Yeah, like we said, just a sophomore. That Reynolds is, what is that, 15 or 16? Like, that is great to have for 2 more years here at Beverly.
We are even at 22 apiece. Another close set, just like set number 2, as that set went the way of Peabody. And that's going to be an ace. That split the defense of Plose and Harmon. That's going to be another timeout for Beverly as they trail 23-22. Peabody 2 points from victory here in set number 4. Cody, what is Coach Shalfor saying to her team in the huddle right now?
You know, just keep it going. I mean, I think that's the best analysis ever, just to say keep it going. But in reality, I mean, they've been playing well. I mean, they've kind of given up a little bit of a lead, but they've been playing well for the last 3 sets. So if you can just continue to do what you've been doing there, I think you're fine. Right now, you know, the back's against the ropes. You know, Peabody has possession, and they're able to kind of control this game, but they're used to being here. We've seen them over the last 2 games we've been here. It's been 3 or 4 sets they've been in this, 4 or 5 sets they've been in this exact situation and have fared very well. So we'll see if they can come back again.
Serve there, good dig there from Harmon. And that's going to sail long for Emma Knott. And that's going to set up 2 match points for Peabody in a set that was really controlled by Beverly up till kind of that midway point, and Peabody able to string some points together. So on the serve, that's going to sail long for 33. Maybe a bit of excitement there on match point. And that's going to be lesser to serve. Beverly's still working. They've got to save 1 more. Substitution in as Zadowski checks back in for some offense.
Get it over the net easily, your number 1 priority here.
They do so, and that's, again, so a couple of loose points from Peabody. Maybe a bit of nerves as they had match points, and Beverly works their way back, 24 all.
Yeah, like I said, they've been in this situation before. They know how to handle this pressure.
Opportunity here, that's dug out there, Sadowski. Better point here for Peabody, and that's going to go off the hands, the fingertips of Harmon. And it's going to be a 3rd match point for Peabody, and it felt like, again, the 2 match points they had, they were really tight. And it felt like on that one, they kind of loosened up, really maybe feeling some less pressure, not with a match point, but we'll see what they do on serve here with a 3rd match point. And that serve's going to go wide. So they've had 2 match points on their serve both times. They just can't get the ball in. Now a chance for Beverly to try to set up a set point of their own.
And both teams just refuse to take this set.
Well, that's going to go into the net, so some untimely serving from both teams here. And that's going to set up another match point for Peabody. I think this is going to be their fourth.
Let's see if they can capitalize this time.
And that goes into the net. So, like you just said, each team, we just want to play a little longer. We're not here to play to 25. We want to play to 27 or 28.
An abbreviated season, they want to keep going a little bit.
That's 3 match points that Peabody's had on their serve, and they haven't been able to convert even a serve.
Seems neither team got the memo that I have homework tonight to do.
That's a Dosky shot. And that's deflected off of Reynolds, just enough power. And we will have a 5th match point as Beverly continues to fight. Peabody continues to fight.
This is the great Yogi Bear would say, it's deja vu all over again. I think I've seen this story once or twice. Any bets to see what happened here?
Let's see if Beverly can try to get one back. Serve is good. Close will roll that one over. Set up, that's deflected. Good work from Lesser there. Now Sadowski down the line, and she buries it, so that's the shot we talked about. As, wait a minute, is that?
So it looks like it's going to redo it. I think the referee couldn't get a good angle whether that went through the antenna or not. So it ended up laying down, but he has no angle on it, so it's 27-26 still.
So match point, and there is Reynolds, and Beverly quickly deletes yet another match point for Peabody. They've really had no problems defending that. And so coach for Peabody having some words. I think we're just trying to figure out.
Yeah, so currently it's 27-27, even though that point scored on our scoreboard up here, it stayed at 27 through that point. Tied at 27, so it's 27-26 technically. So they're not going to put any more scores. It was 27 all anyway, so no need to touch it. That's what the coach was saying there. Is
Caroline stops serve, and that drops in. I think for Peabody, they thought that might have gone long, but that dropped in plenty of space, and we're going to get a timeout. So 28-27 here, Cody, in the 4th set as Peabody has let, I think, 5 set points, match points really come and go. Is now a timeout for Beverly as they try to talk up what they're going to do here as they get, I believe this is their first set point in set number 4.
I don't know about you, Evan, but I'm having a lot of fun watching this game. I mean, just 2 good teams going back and forth, and it's just been like the definition of back and forth that we're in, I guess, again, this overtime type of situation here with these extra volleys. But Tanner's had 4 or 5 opportunities to close it out, and they just missed barely. And Beverly kind of stayed alive. You know, they had a new lease on life a few times. So right now they have a chance to put the nail in the coffin here.
A bit tight late in this set for Peabody. Beverly just playing with a lot of confidence. Stott's going to serve, and that's a good serve, but that's going to drop just wide. So 28-28, serving has been a problem for both teams late in this set. As Stott maybe put a bit too much on that one. Good eye there from the Tanners to let that one drop down. And the first set point comes and goes for Beverly.
I think the most I've ever seen a volleyball game get to 30-28. So let's see if we can set our own personal high here.
Peabody going to try to save that. They do a good job to do so. Lesser sets it up. There's Reynolds. Good effort there. Dug out nicely by number 5, one-handed.
Oh, that's huge.
And that's into the side there by the official. So 29-28 here in set 4. Beverly bench fired up as they're going to get another set point. That one rolls over. Good work by Reynolds. 4 now goes cross court. Good work from Harmon. 15 gonna try to get some space. That's at the net. That's blocked. Trying to save it. Great work to do so.
Wow, what a volley right here.
And still in play. Tapped over. Close. Good work. Stott keeps in play. Both teams a couple desperation points, and point stop. That's going to go the way of Beverly, and they are able to come away with set number 4. Cody, what a fourth set. Beverly saving, I believe it was 5 match points, and they grab the fourth set 30-28. We are going once again to a 5th and deciding set.
As you can see, I am floored. That was just a fantastic match. I think the real difference there was 10-28. Stott had to push it over for a free ball, and they couldn't capitalize. Tanner's didn't end up being able to get a good dig at a setup there, and that's what really killed them. Because in that particular volley, it was their ropes. You know, their back was against the ropes the entire time. And now you have that free ball that you can finally go on the offensive, and they just miss it there. So 15 now will be the target score here. Win by 2, obviously, still. And some captains are being talked up by the referees. Obviously, in a normal setting, once the first team gets to 8 points, they would switch sides of the court. But I believe it's just going to be one side. Referee just going over the captains, the rules on how they're going to handle this one.
So for Beverly, just hearing from Robert, our producer, this would be their very first home victory this season. Their only win of the season being at Salem back on March 11th. They won that in 4 sets. This is the 3rd try at home. They were swept by Masco, and then obviously the great 5-set loss last week. As again, back into a 3rd set. Beverly 0-1 in 3 sets, but again, we talked about earlier, they've had so much experience playing a 4th and 5th set this season. Only 1 match, and this is the 6th match. Only one of them has been finished in 3 sets. Both teams trotted out, like you said, we're just playing to 15, so every point means so much more. It's kind of like a shortened season, right? Whether it's basketball or hockey. Every game means a lot more because you're playing less, and every point in this 5th and final set means a lot more as Beverly tries to come back from 2 sets down. And that is into the net for Sadowski. As I'm stealing the play-by-play of Cody, I apologize. I'm going to give it back to you. I got too excited. I'm too into the match.
Hey, that's how this match gets you, is right now they're going to be able to give another point to Peabody. But like you were saying, like winning at home, there's a certain pride to that, especially with a lesser season. You have less opportunities, especially with the limited fans. And, you know, Beverly and the NEC has done a very good job at handling who gets to come to the games and having at least a limited crowd. Obviously, parents of a household or 2 members of a household can come as Beverly gets their first points of this 5th set. But winning at home is a certain pride you have.
Absolutely, Coy. You got some fans in the arena, and again, it's crazy. Just like last week, the back's against the wall. Down 2 sets is a challenge in itself, but to be down 5 set points in that 4th set and still come back has been very impressive.
Yeah, definitely Cardiac Cats fit this team well, as that one's up by Harmon Lesser. You're going to go over to Jose, and she will finish it. So now back up knotted at 2 is, I don't think we're going to get anything other than a very close 5th set, Evan.
And I'm not too surprised when you look at the 2 teams, and they've lost to the same teams. They both have similar records, so we knew coming in that these are 2 teams of equal skill sets, that we were going to get a good match. And sure enough, that's the 3rd consecutive point for the Panthers as they go up 3-2. It's what we expected, a good close match. We expected Beverly to not go away, and we'll see what's in store here for the rest of this 5th set.
Now that's going to be a carry on Peabody, it seems, and Beverly now 4-2, and they have the control of this one. This would be a great story, coming back down 2-0 to win your first at home in a 5-set thriller. After this one, they have Saugus, Marblehead later this week and next week, and then a nice little 3-game road stretch to open up the month of April. And then Danvers, Winthrop, Chelmsford back to back on the 13th, 15th, and 20th. And then that's going to be that. So they have a couple more chances at home, but they really want to get this home win out of the way.
With 9 more matches to go, to get a big win like this would be so important just for the team, the confidence moving forward for Beverly.
Good opportunity and good effort, but not going to be denied with Sierra Sadowski as she ends up getting the kill there, 5-3. And Stott will enter for Sadowski. Sadowski will take a seat and wait while Stott does the serving. And again, we've seen her be very, very good from this area.
Good work there, went off a couple of Peabody players into some space, and Beverly's been really strong. Up front is where they've really kind of controlled, I feel, the 3rd, 4th, and now the 5th set.
And they've done a lot of that at the line, just forcing some miscommunications, and Peabody not really with the effort we've seen in those first 2 sets. Beverly really bringing that effort. As Samoglo throws that one back in from the bench.
We're heading towards a tight 5th set. Can't say we're too surprised by that as these teams just kind of go back and forth.
See, Evan, I'm not a betting man, but I definitely would have taken that bet that this is going to be a thrilling match. That was going to go the distance. As that one is sent way up. Maybe Carol Danvers is put on a Beverly uniform.
As that one got quickly away there from Flose, but right back to work we go.
Oh, good double jump there by Reynolds. Oh, that one's a tough play. Is trying to pancake that one was number 4, Caroline Stott, but there's a timeout, 6-6. Evan, who has the momentum in your opinion right now, even though this one's knotted up?
That's a tough one. I mean, it's really been so even, and it was 6-3, so I'd have to go the slight edge, probably entering the timeout. I'd go Peabody as that point right there, again, kind of rolling off the net into some space. But really, it's anyone's match, and I think in terms of momentum right now, it's just going to be who's tougher, who's really wants to win the match more. And I think with the experience that Beverly has in 4 and 5 sets, I could give them the slight edge. I'd say I'd give them in this 5th set, but Peabody, a team not going away as they've rattled off 3 points in a row. It's really hard to see who's got the edge right now because we are just deadlocked. 2 sets apiece, 6 points apiece, just like we started. Tied up.
It's almost a coin flip at this point as number 12 will be serving for the Tanners. Again, apologies for no rosters provided for us. And that one's going to be shot into the net. Wrong sport, however, as that's going to backfire for Beverly. That's basically any other sport that's pretty good.
If only. That's been kind of like we said to both sides, is off the net there for Reynolds.
Again, the net denies all friend requests. As again, the net factors in as that white tape spelled disaster for both teams. Has to get it over. They do. Harmon under it. Set up to Reynolds, just tips it over. Oh, good diving play and good effort, but now, as you said, the momentum was with Peabody. They've rattled off 5 now. 8-6, and this is normally where the teams would change sides. And this is the second half of this final set. See if Peabody can close it out or if Beverly again can claw back. Blocked at the rim, no go for Beverly. However, they don't get a point off there. But they'll get it off the large swing from Natalie Reynolds.
One thing I was going to say a little earlier about Peabody is the fact that they've hit a few of those shots when it's kind of to the side and you have to angle it so you can get it between the 2 antennas. The last point they were able to do that, it's definitely something they've done consistently, which is a very difficult shot to pull off.
Oh, a little trickaroo there as Lester popped it over. Looked like she was setting up another hard swing in the middle, but she just popped it over and got everyone out of place.
I think he just froze Peabody. They were expecting the second. That's she's been doing so well this entire match, is setting it up and decided to change things up, and a great time in this match to do so.
8-8 right now, tied up, as this one does not get over. So now 9-8, Peabody leads Tanners. And again, another back and forth affair. Still win by 2, but now it's the first one to 15 to also accompany that win by 2 rule.
So again, we saw late in the fourth set, Peabody kind of struggle on the serve. We'll see what they can do late in this one.
Like I said, 15, you might be like, oh, that's not that big of a deal. But as we saw, Tanners had a 16-9 lead against Beverly in that third set. They had another huge lead, and Beverly a big lead in that second set, or that fourth set, excuse me. And both teams ended up clawing back. So if it was up to 15, both of those respective squads would have won. But since it's 25, so this is how important 16 is. A run of 2 or 3 points could spell disaster as Beverly keeps this one close.
That's a massive point right there. Instead of trailing by 3, you're down by just 1 and on your serve. So good work from the Panthers.
Reynolds now doing some work from the service line, but a good handle of that one the Tanners had. Setting up outside, can't get her in position. Peabody can and pass the reaching arms of Stott. As now Tanners take another little lead, and this would be tough. Beverly, I think they really want this home win, and it would be really, really unfortunate if they ran out of gas now.
Yeah, Peabody not looking as tight as they did at the end of the fourth. So I feel, again, they're not winning anymore, and I think really the pressure of that goes away, and now it's kind of desperation mode as we do not want to blow a 2 sets lead, and they just seem a lot looser than they did at the end of that fourth set when missing some serves.
Lester tosses it over with the right hand. This one a little dropped into no man's land, but recovered by Harmon and the Panthers. And the kill attempt is null and void as that one finds itself out of play, and a timeout for Coach Chalafour and her Panthers. Evan, 9-12. Again, the margin of error is slim to none. What are you saying right now if you're Coach Chalafour?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely close, and I think for her, it's just kind of, you've gotten this far, right? And you don't want to give up now because you've gotten so close. You've done so well. Just trying to continue to do what's worked. Obviously, working up front, they've been strong up there, led by obviously Natalie Reynolds. So try to just keep playing well, doing work defensively, and knowing that really you've come this far. Just keep working every point. Know what happened at the end of the fourth. So the fact that Peabody did tighten up, maybe see if that could happen again. Obviously, you want to try to win. You don't want to hope that the opposing team's going to win it for you, but still try to know that they're probably going to be nervous. Just try to keep the ball in play, keep the play happening, and see what you can make of it.
27-13 for Peabody are 2 players to watch. They're at the front of the net right now, and running right into the net is going to be a dastardly disaster there, a mistake. 13-9 now. So Peabody looking to close this one out after taking one. 14-19 now. They're right in the driver's seat, is down 2-0.
That was a big point, the one before, that first one out of the timeout, where Beverly had done so well last week. But Peabody now a couple of points in a row, set up match point.
And they reward it to Peabody, and that will be the match. So 15-9, Peabody wins as both teams wave goodbye. As taking it in the 5th set is Peabody after winning the first 2. Beverly comes back, the comeback Cats, but can't finish it as they get right to the precipice again and cannot finish. So Evan, wrapping up, what did you like? What did you see differently from Peabody in that last set than you did from them in the previous 2?
Yeah, I definitely felt like in that last set there, again, the nerves, they felt a little tight when they had those match points in the 4th set. That didn't happen in the 5th set, and part of that might be because they were no longer winning. Maybe it was just desperation of trying to blow the 2 sets lead, and they definitely came out, looked like they were loosened up. They knew, okay, that happened, but we're back in it. We have the 5th set, and they trailed early in that 5th set, but were able to come back, string some points together, and get the win in the end.
Yeah, and even though the score, again, this is another, I said it last time, now a loss in the column, but it's really a win, I think, in our eyes for Beverly. Another tight game. How can they look at that game and then try to implement it for the game later this week?
Yeah, they've had back-to-back 5-setters, and it's obviously devastating not to come out with either of those, but it's definitely confidence knowing, hey, we're hanging with any team we've faced. Again, every single match except for one, they've taken at least 1 set, so all these matches are winnable. And again, I think as the season goes on, they've had all these late match experience. I think it's going to help them against other programs.
Yeah, we've seen this Beverly team hang with just about everybody. I'm Cody Shelfu. This is Evan Alfano from everyone here at BevCam TV. Make sure to come back on Thursday as Beverly is home against Saugus. We'll be here. Hopefully you'll be too. Have a wonderful day, everybody.